I'm going to keep oh my god, my speaker's still on. I thought someone was talking. I'm gonna keep the air conditioner off until it becomes unbearable because it is 70 degrees, but it's very humid out. But this room is pretty well insulated. It is August 1st and I still have not edited the July vlog. Yay. It's August 1st. I go into work today. Normal box office hours. So pretty chill. We're probably working on like subscription turnover today. So there'll be some new stuff to learn there. Yeah, I have to edit the July vlog. I'll probably be doing that when I get home. It may get uploaded on the 2nd, kind of breaking my streak of like finishing it on the last day and posting it on the 1st. It'll get done. It'll get done. It's filmed. I never filmed an outro. I'll have to, the hardest part about this has been trying to find the through line in all the vlogs. And I have been able to find sort of like collective themes in a lot of them. This month's theme, I think, well, by the time you see this, you'll know what the theme is, but right now, I'm thinking the word is going to be literary because it basically just turned into a month-long reading vlog because I talked about my books so much. Yeah, so August, I was making my calendar last night. Nothing major is happening. Like my only like event I wrote down was like Sandman comes out on the 5th and I'm excited for that. And that's it. Mostly it's just me getting hyped for fall, you know. August is basically September, which is basically fall. Today's Monday. There's something nice about Monday, the 1st of a new month. I have therapy in like an hour, less than an hour. And then I go, I have to basically eat breakfast before 9:30 and then get dressed, do therapy, and then I have to leave immediately after. I kind of screwed around a bit on my iPad when I should have been up and like stretching and getting stuff done. I have apple cider donuts for breakfast because now that stuff's starting to come out. So the farm stand near us has started putting out all their stuff. It's almost fall. Good morning. I just got a notification that a package is out for delivery. Probably not mine. Because every day USPS sends me an email with what's coming in the mail, and there's sometimes like a package not necessarily for me, but my shop app always picks up the tracking number and is like, your package is here. I'm like, it's not my package. So I've had such a good morning so far. Like I actually did the things I was supposed to do. Like I woke up on time, I did my little 5-minute journal thing, I read, and then after reading I stretched, which I normally don't do because I'm lazy, but I need to because I forgot to the past 2 days, and sitting for long periods of time did not bode well for me. Also, I'm a little stiff from the gym yesterday, but we're doing well there. And then I got up and I made my bed. Look, I made my bed before I went downstairs. And then I made breakfast. I made myself some protein waffles and some cafe mocha in my Dragonfly Inn mug. I was in a Gilmore Girls mood. Yeah, I'm having such a good time right now. Basically, we're trying to keep that momentum going because eventually this job will become, you know, my everyday, and the novelty will wear off at some point, and maybe I'll get bored or something. I don't know. Again, we're just adjusting. We're adjusting. This is only my 2nd full week. I went to the library with Ren yesterday because I had to return the books from 2 months ago, I think, which was Gem and Dixie and the Lucy Variations, both by Sarah Zarr, both excellent. And I ended up getting super ambitious because let's just do a reading update. Right now, I am currently reading 2 books roughly the same size, and I ended up reading 2 books because I started this one, which is very good. I'm getting through it very quickly. You can see I'm like over 75% of the way done with it. I was reading it in the car on the way to Elton John, and then in my 2 a.m. delirium when I got home, I left it in my dad's car and had to wait 2 days to go get it. So in the meantime, I picked up, wow, lots of books with bunnies. I just noticed this. But I picked up The Lonely Hunter, which is about modern day dating. And I have just surpassed, there's 2 parts to this book. I've just gotten into part 2. I just hit myself in the face. I just got to part 2. This is very interesting. It's literally just about examining today's society's view on coupling up, like traditional coupling up, where people find fulfillment in relationships, how people find relationships, why people seem to still balk at the idea of being single forever, despite the fact that the way the world is kind of designed right now, it's much, much harder to couple up. I'm learning some cool stuff. She references a lot of really good, and this is a woman, she's bisexual. I've still yet to see any kind of mention of possible, like, asexuality, aromanticism, different levels of that. So while it's kind of inclusive talking about queer spaces versus heterosexual spaces, we're still leaving out a big chunk of the community. Not to say it's not interesting, very, very interesting. And she says a lot of things that are very true and just talks about the way women are taught, like from a very young age, like about the world. And it was just very, very interesting, and stuff that trends that correlated with what was going on in the world that I'd never put together before. Very interesting. But anyways, they're roughly about the same size. So I've been finishing like things pretty quickly. I did a reading, like a set of reading sprints where I was just switching off between these 2, and I have a feeling this one's gonna finish first, and then I'll finish this. And then I went to the library and got a little ambitious. First book I found, I'm gonna go in order in which I found them. Plain Bad Heroines, which I had heard of, forgot what the plot was about, found it on the shelf. It is about I didn't even know she wrote The Miseducation of Cameron Post. Basically, it's like a 3 timeline kind of thing. In 1902, at a girls' boarding school, there's a very dark academia plot thing kind of that ends up with one of the girls dying. And then a century later, a woman writes a book based on it that becomes incredibly popular. And then after that, a movie gets made about like the book, based off the book, and they have to just become it's just about these 3 generations of women like all getting exploitation, being like, you know, like it's just, it all ties together. I don't know how else to describe it. It sounds interesting, and it sounds like I'm ready to get into some like spooky times. Oh my god, there's illustrations. I didn't know that. There's illustrations, but these are incredibly ambitious. This is a chonker. Then the very second one I found was called How Rory Thorne Destroyed the Multiverse. I picked this up out of pure curiosity, and the cover looked cool. Even the spine looked kind of cool. And this is about Rory Thorne, who is a princess with 13 fairy tale blessings. The most important of which is to see through flattery and platitudes. Like, not a bad skill. And she's the eldest child, and she's supposed to inherit her dad's throne and govern the interplanetary Thorne Consortium. So this is like mixing fairy tale with science fiction, which I think is kind of cool. And then her dad's assassinated, her mom gives birth to a son, and Rory gets betrothed to a prince instead. And she arrives at her new home, and she realizes there is a plot for a coup, and she basically has to, it's like a fairy tale story, but like they turn it on its head, and it's called they call it a feminist reimagining of familiar fairy tale tropes and a story of resistance and self-determination, how small acts of rebellion can lead a princess to not just save herself but change the course of history. This all looks very cool, because this very much feels like the fact that she was blessed with like 13 fairy tale blessings at birth. Very Sleeping Beauty. And then of course getting betrothed to someone else. There is a minister who's trying to like unseat the king. Very Hamlet. Yeah, so originally that was it. That was all I was gonna do. That was it. And then Ren and I were just going through the YA section for fun. And I just pulled this off the shelf because all I saw was this beaver. And I was like, what is this? This is huge. This is incredibly huge. What is this? And it is called A Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer. It is how many pages long? Epilogue. There are no page numbers. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Are there any page numbers at all? There are. They're like on, it's about, looks like a little, like just under 700 pages long. And this is about Jonathan Lampshed, who inherits his deceased grandfather's mansion, which is just full of stuff. And he and his schoolmates catalog its contents, and then they discover it's filled with like clues linking to an alternate Earth, where the English occultist Aleister Crowley has seized power on a magic-fueled rampage across the through-the-looking-glass version of Europe, replete with talking animals and vegetables. Swept into encounters with unpredictable allies and murderous enemies, Jonathan pieces together his destiny as a member of a secret society devoted to keeping his world separate from Aurora. Insane. And I was like, this is crazy. Who would read this? This is insane. It's really, really long. And then we saw that there are chapter titles, which is very rare nowadays. You do not find a book with chapter titles very often. Things like divided into like 3 parts, I think. It's very long. We are very lucky. Also, I was also drawn in by the words on the back, which says, warning, this book is not normal. Charlemagne appears as a giant moth. Napoleon is just a head. William the Conqueror is an eel. Some of the vegetables you will meet can talk. Marmots are not the usual size. There is a land bridge between England and Europe in an alt-Earth called Aurora. Guns shoot bears. That's right, they shoot out bears. Rabid chipmunks fall from the sky. And there are 3 magical doors, but no one knows what the doors really do or where the 3rd door goes. Heck, all Jonathan Lampshed knows is that he must find a golden sphere before Aleister Crowley can, but no one tells him the sphere is intelligent and a psychopath to boot. If you proceed, you must repeat the following. I have been warned, and the risk is mine. Long live Squishy. I need to know who Squishy is. I just do. I need to know who Squishy is. This is my very ambitious library book haul. Big, 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 big books. But that's where I'm at right now. 2 little ones. And 3 giant ones. Well, this one's average size. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Good morning. It is, I almost said July, this is a problem, is August 5th. We have another curtain tonight. The kids are doing Legally Blonde. I heard bits and pieces of it the other day. Okay, so here's the thing. There's nothing going on this month, so mostly of what I'll be talking about is probably books. Not sorry about it. I put all my focus into this one just for now, just so I can, it's the shorter of the 2 that I'm reading, so this is almost done. I have about 20 pages left, or 30, 35? 35 pages left. Yes, I'm on page 200. It is 241 pages long. So, give myself like a good 40 minutes or so. I'll be able to finish that. It's good. It moves really quickly. If you are someone prone to really obsessive thoughts and like intrusive thoughts, this may not be for you, because even I struggled through some stuff, because I will definitely go through very scary like doom spirals like this girl does. However, we're in like the last stretch of the book, and she has finally like, stood up for herself in front of, like, some of the shittiest characters in this book. There was a guy she was seeing, even though she's a lesbian, but she's keeping up this Catholic persona, and he's a life coach, and this is spoilers, kind of. It's not a massive plot spoiler or anything, but it was just kind of like the first moment where I was like, good for you, he sucks. I was sick of listening to him. Yeah, it's a good book. I think it'd be like a solid 3 stars. Like, I don't think I'd read it again and again, but I don't hate it. Like, I'm enjoying it. It's a lot. I can relate to a lot of it. I think it's interesting that they have her with the bunny on the front, because it's a very small detail in the book, but that's what they chose to go with for the cover, which I find interesting. Hello, it is August 6th. One last curtain for the student shows tonight, and then I don't have one for at least a month and a half, because first show is in October. Yeah, people were stupid on the highway tonight, like real stupid, like not giving any indication as to what they were doing and going about 40 miles an hour while merging, even though they had plenty of room to not do that. I don't understand. And then I was like at a light, and then like an ambulance went by, so I had to like peek out and check to see if like something else was coming down the way. Then I was in a left-hand turn lane with someone who was signaling left and was not going left, and was taking his sweet-ass time. People drive like maniacs in the city. Yeah. Quick little, I'm just keeping an eye on the time here. Quick little reading update. I did finish Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by, I think her name was Emily Austen. I think that's the name of the author. It was good. It had a very quick ending, but it felt realistic. Basically it was like, once this woman stopped lying to everybody, her anxiety went away. Not went away, but like things lessened for her, which is a good thing, because I'm just like, if you stopped doing these things, you'd feel much better. But definitely not something to read if you are prone to spiraling and intrusive thoughts. I think I've said this before, because I am someone who can definitely go into some of the spirals that she depicts, and it is very tough to read sometimes, because it feels like you're just reading your own thoughts. So it's not great. So I have The Lonely Hunter. I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to probably try and read some kind of escapist fiction just to get out of the existential fear rut. Yeah, and then I'm going to finish The Lonely Hunter. In this period in the book, she has kind of completed her dating experiment and now is kind of trying to figure out what exactly she's looking for. I've learned a lot of interesting things in this book, but I don't know if I got out of it what I expected to get out of it, which was like, I was hoping it would be a discussion of singledom. You know? Like, not doing a shit ton of dating. But there is a lot of dating in it. And there's a lot of discussion of physical intimacy and how important that is and stuff, which, like, fine. Again, it's a very allosexual, metanormative take on the world. She does, like, kind of point out a lot of sociological, like, things that, like, go into us, how we think about relationships and stuff, which I find very interesting. Yeah, I've been having a lot of conversations with people about relationships lately, just it's been coming up in conversation, and like, I don't know, I feel like nobody gets me. I don't know. I don't know. I just, like, I had a conversation the other day where I was just kind of like, someone in my life has gone through a transition, not like a transition, like she's just had something in her life change, which has made her view of relationships change. And so while I'm like happy for her, I feel like I've lost an ally in a way, because I thought we were kind of on the same page, when turns out for them it was just something in their life that just needed to change, and now a switch has kind of flipped, and now they're kind of on the other side of the line and I'm over here. So it's a little hard to find someone who understands. And I have 5 minutes to go inside, so I probably should do that. Hello. It is August 9th. Sorry, I just got a spam comment. I like commented on a YouTube video asking a question and I got spam. Anyways, just popping in. Went to the gym today. It's Tuesday. Went to the gym, got gas, ran a ton of errands, and then found out I have to return some stuff because, one, I got a pair of pants for work that just don't look good on me. They look like pajama bottoms, which sucks because like they were like these, they looked like tweed dress pants, but they felt like sweatpants, but they ended up looking like pajama bottoms on me. If I'm gonna wear wide-legged pants, they have to be cropped. And second thing was, I picked up some insoles because I get these like, because I'm old, and I get these like heel cushion things for my shoes. It also helps when I have to wear a slightly bigger shoe, because being a size 5 is hell and I hate it, because it just gets rid of a little bit of space. But what I didn't realize is that I pulled the men's size, not the women's size. So I'm gonna probably have to do returns tomorrow. Then I ended up just getting like, I got new masks for work, just like reusable ones. These ones are filtered, I think. I don't really know what the difference is with these. There's 30 in here supposedly, but for uses in masks with, I gotta return this too. They're mask inserts. I'm stupid. I had to do like massive errands today, so I ended up going to Target. I'll be getting some of my money back though, because I gotta do returns. And I debated back and forth. I hadn't been to the bookstore in a little bit since I really started my new job. So I was like, do I want to go? I don't know. I'd been trying to like pick up a new book since I finished my other 2. Nothing's really been capturing my attention, including the library books I had. They're just, I'll have to try the other 2. I was trying to read a particular peril. It's that big chonker right there on the top. It's just a lot. There's a lot going on. I couldn't focus. It was not easy. So I'm like, you know what? They're library books, very low stakes. I can always bring them back. It's not like I spent money on them and I'm losing money on not reading them. I was like, well, I was trying to figure out what I'm in the mood for. I don't want to go into another slump because I've been doing super well. I'm 5 books ahead on my reading challenge. So I went to the bookstore, my Barnes & Noble. I don't know what was going on there today, but it smelled like a dirty diaper exploded. I don't know what was going on. It was just the most rancid smell I have smelled. And it wouldn't, you couldn't, like, it was in, like, it was concentrated to, like, the middle part of the store and around the cafe. So I don't know what was going on, but it was awful. I had a mask on. Employees that didn't have masks on were putting them on because it was so bad. The mask didn't help, I will say. But anyways, I did achieve some things, so let's talk about it. I got How to Fake It in Hollywood. I got romance, shockingly, which is, like, weirdly, after by the book, I kind of was like, don't want to do romance anymore. But then I just finished a book on modern dating, and now I'm like, romance, let's do it. I have no idea. Mostly I just love stuff set in Hollywood. I just love a good Hollywood story. Like, I love reading about, like, fake celebrities and stuff. So this is about, like, a actress who just came off, like, a teen soap opera and is looking for her next gig and is, like, having trouble, like, moving on with her career. And this guy who is an established actor who has had a messy divorce and a drinking problem, and they have to fake date in order to help both of their reputations. I'm down. We love a damaged king, and we love a young starlet coming up into the world. Then while I was looking for it, I found, funny you should ask, also a Hollywood romance, but it's about a writer writing a feature about again, he got divorced, and like a big actor. And I'd been looking for this back when it came out, and my store never had it. And then today I just saw like 6 copies, so I was like, okay, let's go. Then I also went in looking for the book that everyone's been waiting for, Jennette McCurdy's memoir. I am very, again, sticking with the Hollywood theme. My last book strays from theme, don't worry. I'd just been looking forward to this. I really love a lot of the talk that she's been doing just about the industry. I love the stuff that she does for mental health. I love her podcast. I think she's just fantastic. I think she's doing a lot of great advocacy work, and her directing is great. And yeah, I love Jennette McCurdy. I'm glad that she's talking about this kind of stuff, and she's finally like in a comfortable, happy place in her life. We love her, so I'm very curious to see how this book is. I know it is based off her one-woman show that is also called I'm Glad My Mother Died. Obviously, I never got to see it. It was in LA. But I find her just very interesting, and she has like really good conversations on her podcast, and I've been introduced to some very interesting things. Finally, this was like the last thing I went for, because I think I just wanted to make it an even 4 books. This is like the last thing I went looking for, because I originally thought I wasn't going to read it, and now I think I want to, because I think I saw The Hacienda sitting somewhere, and then I was like, oh, I have to go pick up this book, mostly because I'd seen a bunch of excerpts online, and I really liked what I read. So I got Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Garcia is actually a family name for me, although there's like a million Garcias in the world. And Moreno, also a very common name. And this obviously takes place in Mexico, not Colombia or Argentina, which is where my family's from. Yeah, but it's like spooky, but warm weather, you know? So, like, we're kind of, like, I'm starting to lean into, like, fall. Like, we can't yet. We have to enjoy the summer for what it is. I cannot get excited for fall this early on. We're back at work. So, like, my whole area that I normally park in, there are the stairs, full. So, I'm down another level. I'm, like, slanted right now. So hopefully I will remember that, and I'll just have to climb a few more stairs. And then after work, I have to get to Target again, because I have so much stuff to return, because I didn't really pay much attention when I was there yesterday, doing what I needed to do. I've got 5 minutes, I can do this. So, I showed you my book haul yesterday. The book we have started with is Mexican Gothic. Already quite good. I am 50 pages in. I like the vibe. I like it. I like the main character. It's all very interesting. There's a lot of intrigue. I've had The Hacienda, which is like another book very similar to that, apparently, for like a few months now. So, and I haven't really gotten into the mood to read that yet. So maybe this will get me to read The Hacienda. Okay, we are turning the engine off. I am in the Target parking lot. Work was pretty boring up until the last 45 minutes, where a man who was clearly not with all of his faculties was in front of our building, acting erratic, and we weren't sure if he needed medical attention or what. It was a very not fun 45 minutes where we were trying to figure out what we can do for him that didn't involve calling the police, because we had a feeling that was just going to make it worse. Eventually, he like weirdly snapped out of it and walked off easily. So I was already a little bit shaken up from that, even though it ended okay. And then on my drive home, it was weirdly congested. There were trucks everywhere. And I went to change lanes, and I looked. There was nobody behind me or in my blind spot from what I could see. And when I changed lanes, someone leans on their horn. So obviously I pissed somebody off. But I couldn't figure out who it was, and I was trying to figure out, like, what did I do? And then when the person passes me to go off a different exit, they threw something at my car. I don't know what it was, but something hit my car. People need to react normally to things, because that was not normal or reasonable. Like, if I cut you off, I'm very sorry. I genuinely did not see you. Throwing shit at me while driving, not fucking safe. not fucking nice. Also, it's rush hour, so I'm like, I mean, and I have to go do returns, which I'm not crazy about because I'm already exhausted, but I knew. Why can't people just behave? I don't understand why people can't just be, like, fucking civil. Like, what? Why does everything have to be some kind of shady fight? I don't understand. But now I gotta go check the outside of my car just to see if anything happened to it, because it made a pretty loud noise when it hit. Now I gotta go into fucking Target, which is crawling with people shopping for dorm stuff. Which, like, fine, good for you. But also, I'm exhausted and I'm tired of people. Good morning. It is August 11th, and yeah, yesterday was yesterday was not good. Considering when you last saw me, I was cursing. It's fine. Luckily, I'm getting a bit of respite today because I mean, it's not like a great reason, but my voice teacher caught COVID and he tested positive on Friday last week. And it's been a week. Technically, I was exposed and I feel fine. I had no idea. And I feel okay. I haven't had any issues. And since I know what COVID feels like now, I know I'm okay. However, just to be safe, I don't think I'm gonna go to the gym. Like, just in case. Tomorrow it'll be, like, officially a week since he tested positive, but I'm pretty sure I'm fine. My bangs are such a mess. And also on top of that, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so, because I have my physical tomorrow, so if anything is wrong, I will be at the doctor. Reading update, last night, just because I couldn't wait, I started Jeanette McCurdy's book. I am 34 pages in. I would have gotten further, except I got the email from my voice teacher, like, while I was reading it this morning, so I was like, oh. So, I got distracted. Yeah, it's already freaking nuts. This, like, poor little kid. I just feel bad for her, and I've had friends in, like, not so great home situations, and it's just kind of sad to read how the thought process plays out, because us from the outside and us being, the reader being, like, older and like can see it from the outside and can see it from someone who's not living it, we know, like, it's bad, and we know that it'll take time for her to realize, like, that was bad and not a great home life and what damage that does, you know? I still have to edit. This is really bad. It's August. We're 2 weeks into August pretty much, and I still have not posted July because end of July was insane. I should probably edit July. Let me tell you though, when you have to edit just hours upon hours of you talking, there are some times where you're just like, shut up. Shut up. In my earlier vlogs, I had more B-roll, but I don't have as much B-roll in these newer ones. So I'm having trouble, like, filling the time without rambling. Good morning. It is August 12th, and I just got back from the doctor, and they stole my blood. So I don't want to go to work now, because I'm tired. Let's do a reading update. So I spent, like, all day reading this. Haven't finished it yet. We're pretty far in, though. Like, we're almost to the end. And I have all my tabs here, because basically all the purple ones are red flags from her mom. All the yellow ones are very large reactions I've had, which are mostly me cussing at Dan Snyder. She may not name him, but I fucking will. And then, like, there's 2 for quotes I like. Mostly it's just me reacting to some of this shit. But yes, I'm an annotation girly now. We like to do it also, as I find this very satisfying. And then I had to order more tabs because after the shit her mom did, I almost ran out of purple tabs. Very good book. Probably going to be, like, one of my top reads of the year. I'm still reading Mexican Gothic. That's the one I'm taking with me. I'm not annotating that one just because I'm a little too far in at this point. This one I had to do, like, catch up once I decided to start annotating. Mexican Gothic is just what I'm carrying around with me, so I don't have to do the annotation in, like, out in public or whatever, because I don't want to have to remember to do it later. Good morning. It is August 13th, and it's been a really chill morning. I let myself sleep in. Technically, I'm supposed to be on reading sprints right now, but the timer's still going, and I have done a little bit. of reading this morning. We are almost done with this. I did a little time lapse earlier and you can actually see my face react to a certain detail, which is really funny. But then my phone notified me about my meds, so I had to start doing that. According to my doctor, I also have ridiculously low vitamin D, which apparently can affect my mood and my energy, which explains a lot. So I do have a vitamin D supplement that I have to take once a week, which I'm going to choose Sundays for that because it's like right at the beginning of the week. So I'm not taking that today. We're starting with the 10 milligrams today of my new, it's not new, it's the same thing, it's just larger. Because I have been having pretty regular panic attacks. Not panic attacks, like anxiety attacks. I'm not really sure how to classify them because they are just, like, my breathing and everything feels okay. It's not like a hyperventilating thing. It's very much like a cold sweat, feel of impending doom. Can't seem to, like nausea kind of feeling, like something bad's about to happen. With very clear triggers where it used to feel like it came out of nowhere. So yeah, I was like, can we just up that a little bit? Oh, also, if you don't like bruises and stuff or talk about needles, look away. I got blood work done yesterday, which is how we found out about the vitamin D deficiency, but now I have this giant, this was so much worse yesterday. It looked like I had spilled ink on myself. It's much better now, but that's my bruise from when I got my blood work done. My windows are open. My windows are open so you can hear my neighbors, who I think are getting in the car to leave. Anyways, hi, it is August 14th. It is Sunday. And today I have to actually like get stuff done. Yesterday was very much a rest day. And there's like not much I should be doing, but there's one thing that's been hanging over my head, and that's finishing the July vlog because we're almost halfway through the month and I have not posted it yet. And basically it's just because I'm half edited through it. So that's the big goal of today, is to get that done. It's just the thing that's been stopping me. The hurdle is so much of it is this, and I hate like having to cut down my talking segments because it's a pain in the ass, and I hate listening to myself sometimes because it's just like, be quiet. Like, it's just, I repeat myself a lot because I don't know what I've said and what I haven't said in previous clips. So what I've been trying to do is kind of like follow a through line. So like if something's mentioned in this and I'm talking about like what's gonna happen in the future, I try to cut to when I talk about it again. I think I get very anxious about that. It's not like my, you know, regular videos where I'm talking about a specific subject. This is just day in the life stuff, so it's all very, it's just like amalgamous. Like I just keep talking about anything and everything and I can go for hours. So it's very frustrating. So, I mean, I'm just gonna eat this really quick, and then I've already taken all my meds for today. I'm probably gonna like get changed, brush my teeth, all that stuff, and then probably around like 10:30ish maybe I'll put on some like Pomodoro timer or something and like get to work on the editing. That way I can break it up a bit so I'm not just like hunched over like doing my little editing goblin thing. Mexican Gothic. I am annotating. I said I wasn't going to, but I did because I'm addicted. This thing's spooky as hell. Spooky as hell. Sometimes like thrillers don't, I wouldn't really call this a thriller. Sometimes thrillers don't always scratch my itch because thrillers have such a recognizable structure. Yes, plot points may be different, but I find like the third act of a thriller is always the same. So I tend to get bored with them. But this, very interesting. And also I find, because I was in danger of getting into a reading slump, I find with the annotations and stuff, it's a lot more engaged experience because I'm keeping track of stuff, because I'm like it's almost like puzzling out something. And because there's a mystery aspect to this, you are puzzling out what's going on. So I can go through my key. What I've started doing is, like, when I start annotating a book, I put the key on my bookmark, and then when I'm done with the book, I'll put it on the title page, so like if I pick it up again, I'll know what I was doing. So you can't read any of these really because my pen smudged, because I learned that I can't write in like gel pen on these. But basically this color is for references to other works, because I picked up the book because I knew it references other fairy tales and other books, and it's meant to be inspired by a bunch of different Gothic literature as well as fairy tales. This is just suspicious behavior. There's a lot of suspicious behavior. Basically anything that makes me go, you're doing something bad in the background somewhere. Suspicious behavior. Then this was supposed to just be quotes I liked. And then I added this later on because there were sections that I liked, but they weren't like quotes. They weren't quotable. Like it wasn't the words itself that like I connected with. It was the way it was structured. So I just added this for interesting language. I do love the tabs though, because I managed to match it. Like this red is the exact red of her dress, which I love. And then I added the green, obviously because of the green wallpaper. And then tan, just because it just looks good with the colors. Also like kind of like the flowers, I guess. But I am enjoying myself. However, I have to put this off until I finish my editing. But yeah, I'm thinking about starting a book channel. I started a Bookstagram because I had this other Instagram account that I'd used trying to start a small business. Didn't really work out, but it's just sitting there and I can't seem to get rid of it. So what I did is I changed all the information on it, deleted all the posts, and just renamed it and rebranded it. So now I have a Bookstagram. That is linked to my book blog on Tumblr. I'll put the things here. Here are the things. Okay. Yeah, so go follow me there. I guess that'll be all my book stuff, book content. If I'm not going to do the YouTube channel, I will keep up with the Bookstagram because I do like it. Also, it's just a way I can be on Instagram without having like a big scary feed. Okay, it is around 3:30 in the afternoon. We have finished editing the July vlog. I have like logged into my YouTube studio for the first time in a month. And one of the first comments I saw, and I don't like the fact that they collect all the comments from all the videos in one place. It gives me a lot of anxiety. Most of the time it doesn't change. I don't get a lot of comments. But one was someone disagreeing with my cats video from like a few years ago, which I don't even remember what I said in that video. I just know that I'm not a fan of cats, but the person was very nice about it. So I replied back and I was like, appreciate it. Like, we see eye to eye on some things, but like cats was never my thing. But then the other comment I got was from someone on my June vlog, saying that they missed seeing my vlog every month because it's kind of late. I was pretty reliable there for a minute. And this month I waited till the 14th to post. So they were like, I kind of miss you. Hope your July went well. And I was like, it's coming. I swear, it's coming. Like, imminently, it's coming. We're at 34% uploaded. I've got like 21 minutes to go. So it's just me. It's just me and the puppy. Don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Don't know what I'm going to do for dinner. We're not quite at that point yet. I'm this close to ordering food, because then I can have leftovers at work tomorrow, so I don't have to order food again. I gotta pick a day, some point this week, probably Tuesday, to start on August, so this doesn't happen again. Yeah. And then I was thinking and brainstorming more about booktube stuff. I've had the idea in my head for a bit. Don't hold me to this, because again, I have ADHD. This could peter out. I'd had this idea in my head for years, like wanting to turn it into a book channel. Not fully, but like half and half, because theater does this, and books have been very consistent for me, in terms of like being able to keep up with book news and things like that. Theater, I've been able to keep a little bit more consistent with theater news and things like that. However, there's a lot of debate that comes with theater news, and even though I was making videos a few years ago that were very much these opinion pieces, I don't really want to welcome that kind of, I don't want to welcome that kind of public, kind of like, I'm not looking to have arguments with people in public. That's just for me and my mental health. I have discussions with my theater employees, I'm not their boss, my theater coworkers about social things going on in the theater industry. There are certain things I want to talk about. There are definitely certain things I want to talk about that I feel like won't be super controversial. There was a rant I went on in this vlog that I had to cut out about lyric soprano parts in musical theater. One, how they're kind of disappearing. Two, how the ones that do exist are not substantial. And how we seem to have just ignored the vocal part in general in favor of these belty, very like vocally acrobatic parts. The book stuff, that can be fairly consistent, something I can keep up with, when the theater thing isn't, when I don't have theater stuff in the works. I'm trying to figure out what my brand is. I've always tried to figure out what my brand is, and I hate calling it a brand, but I've always been trying to work it out and figure it out, and just, these monthly vlogs are to get me comfortable filming and talking again. They have become sounding boards. Who knows? This could go nowhere. Good. It's still morning. It's like 11:30. Had an okay morning. I've not been sleeping super great just because it's cool out, so I've been keeping the air conditioner off, the windows are open, the fan's on, which is why if you see like hair blowing or something, it's because the fan is on. And it's like comfortable. Like right now I am comfortable. It is a little hotter in here than the rest of the house, but I think due to the temperature, I keep waking up like every few hours or so, like, and it was weird because I do remember it happening last night, and I like snapped awake, and then I was like, oh, I'm like, it's still nighttime, I can go to sleep, and so like I went back to sleep, but I kept like waking up periodically. And then the night before that, I had to like get up in the middle of the night and like turn on the air conditioner and shut the windows because I just needed it to be cooler because I was sweating. So I'm gonna go to the library this afternoon because unfortunately that big ambitious stack of books I grabbed was a little too ambitious. I have not touched any of them. I tried reading, which one was it? Peculiar Peril. I got 22 pages in, and like, it feels nice in my hand. It feels nice to have a big thick book in my hand and be reading a big thick book, but I don't have the focus for it, and it's very confusing. Oh, let's do a quick little reading of the book. Mexican Gothic. We are like 60% of the way through. There are sections that I do find myself spacing out during, and then there are sections where I find myself glued to the page because questionable shit is happening. Like, I'm running into the same problem I ran into with Jeanette McCurdy's book, where I had assigned a color to red flags, where in this book I assigned a color to suspicious behavior. I am almost out of tabs for this color, for this like tan color. I'm almost out of tabs for it because there's so much questionable behavior. Yeah, so good so far. I don't know what I would want to do after this. I thought this was gonna push me into reading The Hacienda, but now I think I'm just like, I don't want to read another book about a girl in a big scary house. I thought about going to Barnes & Noble today, but in my the old one I used to go to, which was closer to my old house, because I wanted to get, and I've been meaning to do this for a while, so I've read the first A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have not read A Court of Mist and Fury. I have both in the original hardcover editions. They're just so freaking huge. I don't like it. And unfortunately I can't, like, they changed the covers, so I can't like make a complete set anymore. And I also don't have the third book or the fourth one. So like, there's a box set with the new covers that is paperback that my local Barnes & Noble doesn't have, but the one in my old town does. So I was considering like going all the way out there to get it. Hi, we're back from the bookstore. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. Well, I will talk about it. The drive there sucked. There's no easy way to get to that particular Barnes & Noble. Like, there's no direct highway route. There's like, I just go through a series of back roads to get there. It takes ages. The drive back was a little quicker because I was able to kind of cut out a lot of like the lights and the traffic and stuff, because I can go, if I knew how to do it the other way, I would be able to cut out so much crap. Anyways, came home. Apparently we have a mouse in the house, which people who know me when I lived at the old house, which was from the 1800s, like, mice were a common occurrence because it's an old house. There's lots of holes. There's lots of places for creatures to get in. There were weird bugs. There was mice. It's just natural. So we have cleared out any food items from my room. I think it liked the leftover Easter chocolate that I still had sitting out, because I do remember finding a half-eaten small chocolate bunny in my closet. And I did Google, do mice like chocolate? And they love it. They love it more than cheese. So yeah. There's no trash in my trash can. My floor has been vacuumed. However, if you know me, my family will attest to this, I don't know how I manage this. I am not a clean eater. I mean, like, my face, fine. Like, clothes, fine. I just managed to leave crumbs around my area. I don't know how I do it. So now I'm looking at cordless dustbusters. Anyways, we went to the bookstore. I did not get the Court of Thorns and Roses box set because the one they had was not the one I was looking for. I was looking for the 4 paperback, not the, like, I think it was 6. And I was like, oh, hell no. No. And I'm not about to ask somebody if they have the other one, because I was like, again, I also don't want to carry that around. So I had a stack going, and I kind of did what I used to do in high school, which was I used to go to the bookstore. I would have a stack. I would just stack up books that I'd find interesting, and then I would make cuts. And this was back when, like, before I had a credit card and had, like, a budget. But I didn't know what to do, and then there was one that had that, like, buy one, get one 50% off. There was also a 50% off, like, hardback sale, like, specific hardbacks. But I wanted to go with, like, sense of urgency. That's kind of how I made my decisions. I also didn't want to deal with the pressure of figuring out what my second book would be, because I walked around the little buy one, get one for 50% off sections, and I didn't find anything that interested me, and I didn't want to deal with telling another bookstore clerk no. So we're just gonna go through these. So they had a dark academia section. Like, they didn't say it explicitly, but I recognized all the books from, like, dark academia. So, like, Secret History was there, Dead Poets was there. There was 2 books by B.E. Schwab, like the Villains duology, A Lesson in Vengeance, which I have. There was a few things there. The Maidens was also listed, and I was like, oh, dark academia book. But then Catherine House was on there, and I'm pretty sure Catherine House was on my list. So I was like, oh, like, I heard about this. It's about a boarding school in the, Pennsylvania, rural Pennsylvania. It's for girls. My phone died. Well, it didn't die, but it just didn't like me filming for long periods of time. So I lost a bunch of footage from the little book haul segment I was doing, and yeah, so we're gonna do it on the fancy camera, because you'll run for at least 12 minutes. Anyways, starting off, we got Catherine House, which I'd had on my list, I think, but then, I don't know, I just, like, never picked it up. But it is about a boarding school in rural Pennsylvania. Basically, it is just, like, super, super prestigious. Like, the girls who go here are, like, promised, like, wealth and power, but the catch is, for 3 years, you have to completely, like, cut yourself off from the outside world. So no TV, no movies, no music, no phone, like even your own clothes aren't allowed. But basically it's like this school, all the stuff that happens there, and it follows this party girl who decides to trade in her antics for like rigid structure and what happens to her. So that's all I'll say about that. There was a big dark academia like display. Like they didn't outright say dark academia, but everything that was included in the display was dark academia. It was, they had the Villain duology by B. Schwab, they had Dead Poets, they had The Maidens, they had I think Secret History, or maybe it wasn't there. Someone must have grabbed it, obviously. So I did pick up Bunny. The last 2 books I read had bunnies on the cover, so I feel like I'm in my bunny book era. But this is, it's like everywhere. I keep reading about it, and for some reason I had no idea what the plot was. Like I've seen it everywhere, and I have no clue what the plot is. But basically it's a scholarship student gets like just super bullied at this like New England college, or like Warren University, which I don't think, I live in New England, I don't think that's a real place, but I could be wrong, I could just be stupid. But a bunch of like girls call each other Bunny. Like it's a group of rich girls that bully her that call each other Bunny, which I never understood as a nickname for rich people. But so Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's Fabled Smut Salon. And it's like, it makes me think of like Heathers. And like the lead character is Veronica, and somehow gets entrenched with this group of popular girls. And the only hardcover I got today, which wasn't on sale unfortunately, was a book that came out today. It's called Complicit by Winnie M. Lee, and it is about a screenwriter in Hollywood. She wrote this movie, and it was like a big success and a big deal, and she was like in Hollywood, and like it was her big success. And then years later you meet her, and she is kind of like, she's out of the business. She's teaching screenwriting at a community college. Like she was kind of in the world, and now she's out of it. She's kind of just like let her dreams go. But then she gets called by a journalist looking to do some coverage on the making of her movie and certain harassment allegations that happened during the making of it. And it's about like the industry. It's obviously like a Me Too thing, but it's also about like being an immigrant and trying to be successful in America, and like what do you owe other people, what are you required to do in a certain situation, what are you willing to give up to become successful, what are you, like it's very much like what was her role in this, and like what she was complicit in. I'm always curious about books that cover the entertainment industry in a fictional way, because like I like to see how accurate it is, because sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, sometimes you can tell that they've done the research and sometimes they have not. Now we have the grand finale, because I was thinking more seriously, just knocked my lens cap off, I was thinking more seriously about the book channel, and I was doing like some preliminary research, which was just me watching other book channels and thinking like, well, what kind of stuff could I do? What kind of stuff would I like to do? And I was thinking of a bunch of stuff. But this guy kept coming up, and I've been flip-flopping on it for like years, I want to say. Like, because I've seen this book. When did this book even come out? First of all, the pages are Bible thin. So I'm a little scared, to be honest, because I at least thought the pages would be thicker. What is the copyright on this? This came out in 2015. Okay, so I've seen this around for years. I used to think this was James Franco, and I didn't understand why he was on the cover. But for some reason, in the past like 3 years or so, this has become a huge deal, a huge, like, area of debate. I've heard many things. Someone who's close to my family got it for Christmas, and then she gave it back because she's like, I don't want to read a sad book. Because I said, oh yeah, I've heard that book, it's supposed to be really sad. And wasn't into that, so she returned it. So I had an idea for a video involving it. The girl at the counter told me when I got it, because she's like, I just started this. She's like, I'm only like 70 pages in, but I'm really liking it. She's like, it's something you gotta do slowly and just enjoy it. And I was like, yeah, I've been flip-flopping on it for years. But I don't know, I feel like maybe I should just do it. Maybe I'll do a video with it where I try to get through it. I still have to finish Mexican Gothic though, which I'm probably going to do tonight because I'm getting to the point where I am a little sick of it. I just need to know what the hell is going on in the house and move on with my life. Like, I just need to know what's going on. Okay, the reason why I look ridiculous, actually, I'm gonna take it off just for this period of time. Oh, it's going right now. I don't know if you can hear this in the video, but I'm playing currently a very high-pitched sound because, and I'm filming this on an iPad because my phone, I don't trust it to film in this environment. Also because it failed me earlier this evening. So I am currently, it's like 11 o'clock. I'm playing a high-pitched sound on my laptop that stopped. It plays every few minutes, which is why I'm wearing this thing, which is just my Music Cozy thing. It's just a headband with headphones in it, and I bought it for travel, and I bought it for when I stay at my friend's apartment in New York and there's a lot of traffic noise. But I'm wearing it tonight to block that out, even though it's like not, I can hear it, it's really faint. I know my parents can't hear it. I hope the dog doesn't hear it because that's gonna annoy her, but there's a mouse in the house again. Also, all of this I'm hating right now. Anyways, there's a mouse in the house again. I hadn't seen it until about half an hour ago when I was in the bathroom and it ran over my toes while I was washing my face. So it ran into the closet in the bathroom, like where the towels are. We couldn't get it, ran away. Haven't seen it since. I was like, I am not gonna be able to sleep if I know that that thing is in the house, because at the previous house we would get a lot of mice. It was an old house, a lot of easy places to slip into the house. Was not prepared for that happening here. I am attached to the attic, not wild about it. So I did some quick little research. Mice hate the smell of cinnamon. So what I did is I got a bunch of styrofoam bowls. I got the cinnamon from the cupboard. I put cinnamon in all the bowls. There's one in my closet because I'm pretty sure it has gotten in through that way before. I feel like everything touching me is the mouse right now. It's in the corner by the heaters because I feel like it can get in through the heating. And it's back here underneath my shelf because there's heaters there. It's under my desk. I'm burning a cinnamon scented candle right now and I'm playing that high-pitched noise every few minutes or so. It's a 9-hour version. It's running on my laptop, so hopefully my laptop doesn't sleep. Good morning. It is the 17th of August. You can hear rain in the background despite it being sunny because I have a video running for, I have like a Pomodoro timer running to try and get some reading done before I have to go to the gym. We're reading this, and I have to say, going from Mexican Gothic to this, it's not quite whiplash because Mexican Gothic is a thriller in its own right. This is also like dark academia, which I will struggle with dark academia sometimes, even though I love the aesthetic. This, once I got into it, I got really into it. And I thought I knew where things were going, and then I'm like barely 100 pages in. I'm not even 100 pages in, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Wild stuff keeps happening. A story that I thought was very rooted in reality and was going to just be more psychological than anything. I don't know what's happening. I am tabbing. I'm not like doing anything specific with it. I'm really just tabbing quotes I like because there's some good writing in this. So it is almost 11 o'clock on August 20, no, it's the 19th. It's the 19th still. I just watched that movie, Look Both Ways, which like was cute, but it also made me think about my future a little bit. And since getting the new job, I haven't gone super hard at the acting stuff in a while. Right now, auditions are slow. It's just the time of year. Everyone's been saying it, auditions are slow. However, a agency I follow is taking new submissions for their musical theater department as well as their TV and film department. So I think it's probably time I take a crack at it. Unfortunately, it requires me to do a lot of work because the video they want is quite extensive and I have to edit a reel for myself, which means I'm gonna have to do some research and also means I'm going to have to watch a lot of footage of myself acting, which is not fun for me to do. This is way easier for some reason, but watching myself acting is a little bit harder. But I've put together a to-do list for myself. Unfortunately, next week's gonna be so crazy because I'm working one extra day that week. So I don't have as much time off as I normally do. And I'm gonna have to probably film this, at least the scenes, because that's the only thing I need another person for. One of those nights. My parents are traveling, which is kind of helpful because we can be as loud as we want. So I'll be able to come home one of these nights and my sibling's gonna read with me. Either that or I'm gonna have to like strong arm one of my friends into Skyping me or something and reading the sides with me because I don't have anybody in the general vicinity to do it with. So, yeah, and then it's due the 28th. I've got a little bit over a week. Aren't you a good little set doggy?
She's a therapy hound.
You don't get ice cream sandwiches though, we do.
She's a therapy hound.
Yes.
Okay, I'm filming this on my iPad. I do not know how good this picture is gonna be, and the light is very low. But it is like 11:40 something at night on August 23rd, and I started A Little Life. Now granted, I am 10 pages in. I'm not weeping yet. Granted, 10 pages. 10 pages. They're kind of describing like all of their general work and living situations, which like relatable. The guy who's working as a receptionist at an art magazine, hoping he'll get discovered in 6 months. Very funny, especially when I'm working basically as a receptionist at a theater and know for a fact that that is not the way you get discovered. I was reading Catherine House, which is also quite good. I was also going through a phase of watching a very specific brand of movie. Like, what did I watch? The Riot Club, which is about a bunch of spoiled rich British boys at Oxford, I think, who have this special club that like basically is just about debauchery, and it's just about like privilege and spoiled like Tory boys being their worst selves. So I watched that because I'd had it on my list for a while and it was finally available to watch. And then I watched the movie Another Country, which also takes place at Oxford and involves British boys who do have some class issues, except it's gay, so that was a little nicer. And then yesterday into today, because it's a very long movie, I watched Maurice, 1987. What's his name? Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant's in it. I don't know who the other guy is. The main character, who's named Maurice, like the title character. Forget the actor's name. Don't remember him. Also super gay. 2 hours long. Did have to take a few days to finish it.
We are dressed and in bed still because my back hurts. Not my lower back, weirdly, although I am heating up my lower back, my upper back, because I think I slept literally like this with no back support. So I have to remember to get rid of the extra pillow so I can lie flat when I sleep. But we've read a bit more of A Little Life. We're on page 24, like not far at all. We're just learning about all the characters. I like them. I think I like Jude, which I think is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to like him. Mostly because the chronic pain depiction, spot on. If he has a chronic, I won't get like too specific, but he has like some pain issues with his legs, which I can relate because my back stuff affects my legs. Can definitely relate to the flare-ups. I haven't had it as bad as him, but yeah, I recognize like what that's like and the need to like, everyone's like, what can I do? And you're like, there's nothing you can do. It's just like, you gotta let it pass. There's nothing I can do. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Just like extra work and stuff, and yesterday was like a weird day, and yeah, I have to film my scenes for my self-tape tonight and some songs and edit all that together and then have that in. If not tomorrow, it has to be Friday because that's the due date. So I want to make sure that is all ready and squared away and set to go. I have all the other moving parts. I just have to edit the tape part together. It is 10:35 on August 25th. I have submitted my tape. I look like crap. This is terrible lighting. Okay. I'm not really this disheveled, I hope. I think I over-prepared, to be honest. I think maybe I was looking at a different submission form, maybe for the TV and film rather than the musical theater, but it's a start. Yeah, so we're all done. We're all set to go. I'm gonna relax now. Very much. Tomorrow's Friday, and then obviously I have the weekend, so that'll be good. Yeah. Done. Ta-da. Good morning. It is October. My God. No, it's not. If it was October 26th, I'd be 25 years old, and I'm not ready for that realization. It is August. It is August 26th. Yeah, it's October. No, it's not October. God. My tape is in, as you saw in the last clip. I woke up with a headache, which I had a feeling was going to happen because towards the end of my little dinner / supernatural viewing with my dad last night, I felt it come on, and that tends to happen. Probably because I clenched during, sorry, I'm like cracking my jaw. I clenched during working out, like I clench like my face and my jaw, and also with singing, because I have TMJ, the higher I go, the wider my mouth has to open, and eventually it just locks. So very productive day yesterday, but I am feeling the repercussions today. I took some Excedrin, hoping that's gonna do something. I bought some extra strength Excedrin for days like this. And I'm trying to eat best I can, and get some food in my body, so before I get like too nauseous to eat. And I've got a good lunch lined up as well. I lied. The headache came hard and fast. I'm looking over here because that's where the screen is. I should be looking here because, yeah, if I flip my phone, my salt lamp's gonna block you. So yeah, we're staying home. And I'm drinking Gatorade because I can't. I ate most of my breakfast, but then I got really nauseous. So that didn't work. Also, did you know that Gatorade has carbs in it? Because I didn't. which explains why it like helps when I'm not feeling great and can't eat. The pain isn't super bad, it's just like the nausea, and it comes and it goes. It's supposed to thunderstorm. That's why I feel like this. It's the changing pressure, and we're supposed to be getting thunderstorms like midday. I want to read more of A Little Life, but with my head being the way it is, I tend to furrow my brow when I read, which doesn't help me. So now I'm considering reading a comic book. I don't know why. I was thinking about Spider-Man. And I have the first Spider-Woman, as well as, I don't know if this is the first one or this is the first one. This says number 1. This one's not numbered at all. There's the Essential Spider-Woman. This is what comics are so stressful. I think this is correct. This is the origin. This is her first comic. And then I think, did I buy another one? No. And then I have the first 2 Ms. Marvels and the first 2 Spider-Gwen. Although this, I was part of the way through Spider-Gwen. This still feels like I'm missing something. It really does, because I picked it up and it was like, start here, which is the one I have. But it still feels, I don't know, I remember it feeling like I missed something. It's a good way to bang out some more stuff from my reading goal though. Just like reading a quick comic. Good morning. It is I almost said October again. This is gonna be a real problem. It's almost August. All I need to do is look at my shirt to remind me what month it is. It is August 28th. I have a haircut today, thank goodness, because my bangs are very long and I do my best to trim them. They are never even. Like, that is not a straight line in the slide. It's not working, so we've gotten to this point where I have to brush them aside. And then, yeah, I'm gonna get my haircut back to collarbone length. I have spent the last 2 days, like, in bed. First day because I had, like, an actual migraine and, like, was trying to sleep it off, which, fair enough. But the second day, I don't know if, like, so the migraine, because I slept all day, screwed up my sleep at night, so I fell asleep kind of late, and then all day yesterday, I was just napping on and off and not eating a lot. It just, my whole schedule is screwed to hell. My room's a mess, like, haven't done any routine things, like, just kind of everything's sort of fallen off. But anyways, past few days have not been productive at all. I haven't even read any more of this. I haven't had the motivation to read. It's not even like I fell out of the mood for this. Like, I'm still in the mood for this. It's just like I didn't want to read. I just didn't want to. I didn't have the mental energy. I think, what did I end up doing? I ended up scrolling through, like, YouTube Reels, which, like, if you know, has the worst algorithm ever. Like, the amount of right-wing bullshit I get shown, even though I'm not the audience for it, ridiculous. And then I, like, emerged around 7:30ish, and went downstairs, and Mom and Kevin were watching the first Lord of the Rings, which I've never seen straight through, and I got sucked into that, even though I came in within, like, the last hour, I want to say. I saw, like, I think the last hour and a half, which, like, if you know the movie, it's a long-ass movie, but I was able to pretty much pick up on it pretty quickly. So we watched that through to the end, and then I went back up to bed, where I fell asleep watching ER, which is a show I do enjoy, and haven't watched for a bit. It's just something I come in and out of. It's a casual watching experience for me. Good morning. I am not going to turn off the air conditioner because it is hot outside. However, we are going to mention, this morning I woke up to news that Taylor Swift is dropping an album in October. So, nothing pulls you out of an impending depression spiral like that. Thank you, Miss Swift. See, the last time, like, I was not doing super hot, like, in a very, like, heavy way, she announced and released Evermore. So, I'm like, she's got some mind powers or something. She, like, knows when we're struggling, when we're out here struggling. So yeah, I woke up with a flare-up, so that was fun. So I'm very uncomfortable right now. Everything hurts. I'll have to take some Advil before going to work. Luckily, I don't have to be active anymore at my job. But yeah, everything hurts. Everything's stiff. To be honest, I haven't really been stretching. I haven't been doing much of anything, so that's probably it. Or I've been sitting for days either doing work or editing or putting together footage for tapes. But yeah, so I have therapy this morning. Therapy's good for me. It is. It's good for me. We keep talking about things I don't want to talk about. Don't want to talk about it. And I don't want to think about them because I have to think about them and then I gotta go to work like immediately after, and I don't have time to have an existential crisis on my commute. I don't have the time nor the energy. Yeah. Like right now, I just want to ignore my social issues. Like that's just like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like trying to talk about making friends as an adult. I don't feel like it. It's too hard. It's too difficult. I feel like I'm too old for this. Too old. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Look at this. I think I slept on my bangs in a very specific way, and now I'm going to have to wet this down and make it stay down. But anyways, I got a haircut the other day, so that's why everything's short all of a sudden. So today, I have the gym. It's a Tuesday, so I'm gonna go to the gym. Hi, puppy. She's here. Then in the afternoon, Ren and I are gonna go out and run some errands. I have to go to Target and get, there's like coffee I like that we haven't been able to find at like either grocery store lately. But Target tends to pretty reliably have it. So I'm gonna go to Target, and then Barnes & Noble's nearby, so we have to. And then Ren wants to go to Michael's, which if you don't have one near you, it's a craft store. Because Ren has been getting into making like bracelets and stuff, and so they just keep going to Michael's. So I was like, well, if you go out with me tomorrow, we can go to Michael's. And they were like, ah. And I was like, but we have to go to Barnes & Noble, because if you're going to your crack den, I'm going to mine. I had a fantastic day at work yesterday. Someone from like the main office came over, and she was just picking something up, but we all ended up talking for like 2.5 hours about anything and everything. She also read everybody's birth chart, which was incredible. Like she and I had met like that day, and was just like, she just kind of looked at me and she was like, "You're Scorpio?" And I was like, "I'm a Libra." And she's just like, "What's your birth chart?" And we went through it, and she like went through, for any of you astrology girlies out there, my birth chart is, I can't check it, it's on my phone, but I'm a Libra sun, a Scorpio moon, Gemini rising, so do what you will with that. But she went through my birth chart and just read me for filth in front of all my coworkers. Yeah, she came in and we all ended up just chatting for 2.5 hours. I had outgoing calls to do. I mean, it wasn't a very long list, and it was funny because we all finished, and then like I sat back down and I was like, well, I have emails to send anyway, and I was like, we have 15 minutes left in our shift. Oh my god. And so I'm like typing out emails and things, and even my boss kind of said, she's like, it's Monday, we have the rest of the week to do what we have to do. And so I'm like, yeah, Wednesday I can do all my calls and it's fine. Good morning. It is August 31st, and I decided to film right now before I've even gone downstairs to eat breakfast, so I can wrap this up and edit it the second I get home. So yeah, last day of August, first day of September tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm very hyped for fall. September is going to be a no-buy month, just because this past week ended up being a very expensive week, just because there was a bunch of things with I ended up paying for parking at work. There was a bunch of weird stuff that happened this week that ended up with me having to spend more money than I thought. Whatever. So September's gonna be a no-buy month just because October is my birthday month, so if there's something I would like, I can just ask for my birthday when people ask. So I can just be like, this thing, you know? It's supposed to only go into the 70s today. I'm very happy. It might be humid, I don't know. I hope not. But I'm very much looking forward to having a fall-like weather. But yeah, September's gonna be a no-buy month, at least till the very last day, because I am going to Salem on the last day right before we go to the Cape. So I'm very excited for that. I've never been at Halloween, or like never been in the fall, so I'm excited for that. I'm going to have a separate vlog for this, I've decided, because I have dedicated some separate footage to this specifically, but just to get us where we are at the end of the month, I am halfway, pretty much halfway through A Little Life. We were also on part, what is it? I was on part 3. I think I'm on part 4. I'm on part 4 of A Little Life. I also got 3 books at the bookstore yesterday. I was looking for Babel, which then I ended up having to order because I don't think my bookstore had it. So Babel is coming on the 1st, which is something I want to go into like a dark academia mood next, I think. Secret History is on the docket because I feel like this will give me the momentum I need, being like, if I can make it through this, I can make it through that. But I ended up buying 3 other books. So I got something called The Absolute Book by Elizabeth Knox. It's a fantasy bookish novel. And then I got Under the Whispering Door, which is by T.J. Klune, who wrote Under the Cerulean Sea, which I never finished. Even though I was liking it, I just ended up finding stuff I liked better. But I was told it would have some good ace rep. So I was very excited for it, and I didn't realize it had come out, so I grabbed it. The final one, and this is why I had to buy the other 2 books, because I was like, I am refusing to leave the bookstore with only this, because I'm doing it for the gag and out of morbid curiosity. I bought a Colleen Hoover book. Not one of her main popular ones, though. I got a book called Maybe Someday, which, reading the back, seems to have the least toxic plot. And originally I wanted to read Layla, I think it's called, but it's available nowhere. Like, I can't find it in any bookstore. I'd have to go order it. But then I saw Maybe Someday, and it has a music subplot, so I was like, alright, if we're gonna read a Colleen Hoover book just to see what the fuss is about, I will at least pick something that has something that piques my interest. And it doesn't seem to have that toxic of a plot point. Like, it doesn't have that, like, 2 bad boys, like, shitty relationship plot that I've come across in a lot of her popular ones, which is probably why I haven't heard of this one, because it's not as spicy as the other ones, which I just have no interest in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those. I still have Complicit to read from my previous haul, because I've read Bunny, I'm reading A Little Life, and Catherine House, actually, I haven't read. I started Catherine House, and then this one kept calling my name, so I decided to start this instead. So Catherine House might be good as well, because that's also dark academia. I will see you guys next month. Tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. There's no break for these. I genuinely, like, before we sign off, I genuinely cannot wait till this project is over. It is very stressful to keep up with. It kind of has sucked my creative energy for any other type of video. That's why I kind of wanted to lean into some book content, because it's easier to do and it's not dependent on like an industry. Like, there's always going to be something to read, but like with theater, there's not always topics for me to do. But right now, all of my energy has been going into making these. So while it is nice to have a documentation of this year, I am done. I am very, very tired, and I'm going to make this go on until December, just to say I did it, but I doubt I'll be doing it again, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So, yeah. I will see you in September.